Hey y'all, welcome back to Silver Ridge Outdoors. Today we are going to be reviewing the Millennium M50 tree stand, which is, in my opinion, one of the best all-around tree stands on the market today. So first of all, I want to start off by saying this tree stand is not the best in any one category. It's not the cheapest tree stand, it's not the most comfortable tree stand, it's not the lightest tree stand. Because of that, it's not the easiest to install. But the fact that it excels in each one of those areas in an all-around type of fashion makes it a very, very good tree stand, a very quality product, and in my opinion, as I said, what I believe to be one of the best tree stands on the market today. This tree stand costs $150 from the Millennium Tree Stand website. I've seen it for a lower price, like $130 in other various websites at various times. But at least at the time of this video, you can pretty much bank on this stand being $150 somewhere. And considering some of the things that make this tree stand a quality product, I would say that price is a very, very reasonable, very fair price. So one of the things I look at in a tree stand is how easy is it to install and to tear down. That's actually what made us switch to the Millennium tree stands, is because we got tired after a while of setting up a tree stand that didn't have an easy way to install it and take it down. At the end of a day of installing tree stands, we would just be physically exhausted, and in some aspects it was a little bit unsafe, climbing up a tree, trying to stay safe in there, and yet trying to lug up a big tree stand and also safely attach it to the tree so you can trust it in future hunts. And it wasn't the end of the world, but we were looking to potentially switch to find an easier way to install tree stands and yet have such a quality product. And the Millennium tree stands really answered that question. They use what's called a cam lock design that essentially allows you to install a receiver straight onto the trunk of the tree. And it's very light, very easy to do, so you can very safely install this onto the tree. And then after that's done, you simply haul up the actual tree stand base, the seat and the frame, and slide that into the receiver. It's as simple as that. I literally just putting this up here, did it in less than 2 minutes. Now granted, I'm not 20 feet, 30 feet up a tree, doing that, but still it was very easy to do and much easier than what we were doing in the past. And that was one of the things that honestly just turned us on to these tree stands, and we said, well, you know what, let's take a look at these and see how good they are. And the cam lock system did not disappoint. But another thing that I thought was really interesting was how comfortable these tree stands are. Most tree stands that I've used in the past have some sort of foam on top of a either wood frame or metal frame, and you're actually sitting on the metal frame, it has a layer of cushion on top of it. And after 2 or 3 hours in the stand, at least for me, I would get pretty uncomfortable and my backside would be screaming for sweet relief. And I would be shifting, I'd be moving around, I'd be standing up frequently because I was getting really uncomfortable sitting there. In all the hunts, all the deer hunts I had this season in this tree stand, I don't recall one in which I became uncomfortable. I would shift around because my back would get a little bit tired, but I don't ever recall my backside being uncomfortable sitting in these tree stands. And I put in a lot of hours in the deer woods each year. And another aspect about the comfort of these stands is the fact that it is a mesh fabric over a metal frame. You're not actually sitting on the metal frame, you're sitting on the mesh fabric that is strung across a couple of metal rods. But another thing that's interesting as well is you can flip up this tree stand seat like you can most any other tree stand. But when you go, sometimes a windstorm comes by, knocks it back down, and then a rainstorm comes by and gets your seat wet if you're using one of those cushions. And then you really are hesitant to sit down at the beginning of a hunt because in an hour or so, your backside you won't even be able to feel anymore because it's frozen. That was something you didn't even have to worry about with this tree stand because it has that mesh fabric. The rainwater would just go through it and it absorbed only a teeny little amount of the rainwater, and not enough for me to notice it. I sat in several hunts in the rain and it had been raining prior to me arriving at my tree stand, and I never noticed my comfort dwindling because of that. So that was an aspect of these tree stands that made them an awesome product to have. So a couple of other helpful things with this tree stand is the fact that they put in carry-on straps on this tree stand. In fact, when I brought it out here to demonstrate it on this tree, I use those and it makes it a lot easier. I know other tree stands have it, but that's one thing that this tree stand does have as well that makes it just a little bit nicer to use. Another interesting thing as well is with the seat and the platform, you can adjust how level they are depending on what your tree looks like. So you don't have to worry about making sure that your tree is perfectly straight. You can take a tree that's a little bit leaning one way or the other and then adjust the platform and the seat as you desire. I love hunting with hang-on tree stands, and basically as far back as I can remember, I always have. But there has been times in the past where I have hesitated using a hang-on tree stand due to the issues that you encounter with the comfort and the ease of installation and teardown. And honestly, this tree stand really eliminated that problem I have faced. I loved this tree stand. I loved it so much I went out and bought 2 more of them. This, in my opinion, is about the best all-around tree stand you can find on the market. It is really that good, guys. I would encourage anybody who wants to use a hang-on tree stand to go get a couple of these. I doubt you'll be disappointed. Thanks for watching this video, guys. You take care, and I'll talk to you next time.